it sounds like you also work with new and traditional brands. Like Conair, for example, has been around for a very long time, but then Feastables, obviously newer brand. So just connecting the dots, that it's cool that you helping solve, these challenges which are common across both legacy and new brands. And the other thing I wanted to ask about there was also, like, when you see, not so much ask, but comment on that, when you see a product in stores, traditionally, like, you might, you expect to see Conair at every, in every beauty store or everywhere. But, like, for example, a direct to consumer first brand getting into a store can be like a Trojan horse almost, because that helps them expand past the channels where they're normally discovered, versus the other way around. Like you said, e-commerce can make up a very small fraction of direct to consumer e-commerce makes up a very small fraction of their overall sales.
Yep.
And then I think the third thing to comment on is obviously social media is not brand new, but given that we have these like third, fourth, fifth, sixth points of contact that are now in the world, whether it's through a multi-channel marketplace like Amazon, or insert, name of new entrant here, Walmart, etc., or Instagram or TikTok, it's like you almost have multiple storefronts, multiple avatars of your brand in the public eye, and each avatar can wear a different hat or have a different face to it. And so, coming back to what you do, tell me a little more about how Bridge physically solves that problem. Like, what solutions do you offer brands? So say I'm Conair and I come to you and I'm like, hey, we want to connect more with our customers wherever they are. What are some of the ways and solutions you put that into place?
Yeah. So I think that you are correctly articulated the different profiles that that our customers take. So your more traditional kind of legacy brand, and then your very much non-traditional kind of Mr. Beast backed Feastables, which is your influencer brand. And we're finding pretty interesting product market fit in a couple of different buckets of brands. But as you mentioned, we have both profiles. So speaking to a Conair, which is your more legacy brand, what we're seeing that they're interested in is, one, these legacy brands are looking to become more relevant and bring more content to their customers. And so the Conair use case, initially is actually helping to educate in store their customers. So, when they're launching a new hair dryer in store, providing kind of curated digital content, through a QR code in store to help drive that customer education and then purchase. So it's actually, in partnership with a couple of different retailers that they're launching new product at, to provide this, curated content experience that they're enabling through Bridge. And, that is very different than linking to your website. So your website
Very much
is
so.
meant to, think about Conair, they probably have thousands of SKUs. Your website is meant to, be that central brand site that educates the customer on all of the products that Conair offers. But what we're helping them to do is like curate content that is for a specific product. So, if you walk down the aisle at a Belk, which is a department store, and you see this QR code that encourages you to scan to learn more about their Infinity Pro hair dryer, that you have this curated content about the Infinity Pro hair dryer that educates the customer and helps them understand why they'd want to purchase. So that's kind of a use case that we're seeing specifically with Conair. In general, if I were to kind of summarize what I'm hearing from some of the more traditional brands that we're working with, is they have been laggards in the e-commerce adoption, relative to the brands like a Feastables that really started digitally native first. And so a lot of what they are focused on is setting up more of the infrastructure to be more digitally native and to grow their direct to consumer presence, because they have they have the retailer relationships. That's been their bread and butter kind of go to market for a long time. So now they're looking for ways that they could help build their direct to consumer channel, and connect those retail and direct to consumer presence. So that's kind of the direction in general we're seeing your more traditional established brands. That's like the trend that we're seeing there. You shift over to your digitally native brands. And so, some of those that we're working with, we'll talk about Feastables, but the Joey's of the world, the Canopies of the world, those are our customers that they know digital like very, very well. They've grown up in this kind of uh, like D2C first ecosystem. And they're growing really quickly in that environment, but also understand that they're going to need to continue to grow outside of D2C because there is a, inflection point which, you could only profitably acquire customers in D2C to a certain extent. And so other channels start to become a priority for these brands, whether that's Amazon or retail. And frankly, these are brands that will go from 90% of their revenue is from D2C that like overnight with a couple of big retail partnerships can shift to 50-50. And so these brands know that value of a direct relationship with their customer. I mean, using Canopy and Jolie as examples, like these are product and subscription businesses. So like they really know that like LTV story of having that recurring revenue through the subscription. That when they sell through retail, it's just a trickier game of then owning that customer and being able to upsell or cross sell them to that filter replacement. And that's where they want to bring that customer into their direct ecosystem. So what
Yes.
Bridge does is help make that seamless for the brand. So register your Joey shower head, and then purchase a filter subscription, or register, activate the warranty on your Canopy humidifier, watch a video to change the filters, and then subscribe to the filter subscription. So that is all something that we would support.